Welcome back. I am Jerica from The Realistic Homestead, and we are just going to try and finish up using up the meat that I got out a few days ago. It either needs to be used up or I'm not putting it back in the freezer, so it needs to be used up. I was looking online last night and I saw some fun recipes for like a chicken and wild rice soup, and then also I totally forgot that we used to have haystacks all the time, which are just like a chicken and, well, I used to make it with cream of chicken, but I am just so over cream of chicken. I don't know why. Like the store-bought stuff. So I'm going to make the sauce stuff to go with it. And then I also have some wild rice in the Instant Pot right now just for the soup, and then also for the haystacks so that I can have a full meal ready for those haystacks. And I won't have to make rice on that day. So we're gonna go ahead, and I think I'm gonna make the wild rice soup first. I just got this wild rice out of the Instant Pot and it is perfect. I used to hate cooking wild rice because on the stove it takes like 50 minutes of stirring, make sure it's not burning, stuff like that, because the wild rice is takes a lot longer to cook. But the Instant Pot, why haven't I been doing this my whole life? Because I already have the rice cooked and the chicken's already cooked, and I have these peas and carrots that we had a couple of nights ago that we didn't eat all of them. I'm going to have to change up the recipe a little bit. It's actually going to make it easier because I don't have to work as hard because most everything is already cooked. I just have to make the broth syrup creaminess. So I'm going to put in some celery because that's not cooked already, with a tidbit of butter. Add in just a bit. Because this is a recipe that I have not tried before, I'm just going to make one batch of it. And if we like it, we can make more. And if we don't like it, then we don't have to have tons of it that I feel like we have to eat up. I'm going to add a little bit more butter and some chicken broth because those onions are freeze-dried. So those onions need, the onions and the garlic need some broth or water or something to rehydrate them. There's really not much to see in this pan yet. It's just onions, garlic, and celery. But we are getting a little bit of fond on the bottom, so that's good. I'm going to add a bit more chicken broth, chicken stock. We're going to get that fond off, but we're also going to add in the mushrooms. And if you guys remember, my husband is not a fan of mushrooms. I think he doesn't mind the taste, but the texture just throws him off a bit. If you can see, all of that fond is gone off of the bottom, and now all of that flavor is in that stock, which is awesome. So after we get this little bit done, and before I add the, I'm just gonna add a good handful of freeze-dried mushrooms. And before we add the peas and carrots, because those are already cooked, I'm going to do the immersion blender on this because so that we can get those mushrooms and celery and onions and garlic not so that you don't have a huge chunk in your mouth when you bite it. So I'm just gonna let this cook down a little bit more, let those mushrooms get all the way rehydrated, then yeah. Okay, this is ready. I need to do something with it, but I have been looking for my 1 cup measuring cup for like 2 weeks. And it's been in the flour. Okay, I need to get something done with that. Okay. Ah, stop. Turn it down. Okay, I decided I'm going to make the roux and then add the chicken broth, and then I'll do the immersion blender since those carrots and peas are already cooked. It doesn't call for peas, but I have that already. I don't want to waste that, so we're just going to use that anyways. Add some flour to this. And it looks like it's burnt, but it's just those mushrooms, the color in the mushrooms. Okay. And just add it kind of slowly. There we go. It's amazing to me how that just works. There, I'm going to do the immersion blender right now. Okay, then this could really be good and done right now if I wanted it to be. I think I will. I think I'm just going to add everything else. I'm going to add our cream. I'm going to add some salt and pepper before I add everything else. I'm going to go ahead and just taste this mixture. Much, much, much better. That is really delicious now. I'm just going to turn the heat off because I don't want this any more hot than it is because I just need it to cool down. I'm going to add my rotisserie chicken, which is probably about 2 cups. And then also some of my wild rice that I cooked just this morning. I'm going to add about half of that. Oh, yum, yum, yum. I am not a soup person by nature, but this is looking delicious. Okay, for our next recipe, I'm going to make cream of chicken soup. That's just how we made Hawaiian haystacks, like the sauce for it. I used to just use cream of chicken soup, but like the actual cans I have not been liking cream of chicken soup from a can lately, and maybe it's because I know I can just make it so easily. I don't know. I'm just gonna make some simple, really like no seasonings except for salt and pepper, because we're gonna put a ton of stuff on Hawaiian haystacks. If you haven't had Hawaiian haystacks, I don't know where they originated. Probably not even in Hawaii, but it's just rice with basically cream of I keep saying that. Cream of chicken soup thinned down with chicken in it, and then you can put on whatever you want. Sometimes like pineapple, mandarin oranges, olives. I can't even remember because it's probably been 3 or 4 years since we had this. I probably burned myself out on it a while ago. Once again, I'm going to start with the roux. While this butter is melting down, I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. This is just going to be very simple. I don't necessarily want this cream sauce to be the star of the show because I like the chicken and all of the toppings that go on haystacks. So we've got that butter that is nice and hot and bubbly, and I'm just going to add this, and it's going to make a little paste. I really should be wearing an apron. Now that flour taste is probably cooked out now, I'm going to go ahead and add some of this chicken stock. And I'm enjoying seeing my food on my shelves be used instead of just sitting there waiting and hoping that one day it'll be used up. Okay, that looks about good. I'm gonna go ahead and add some milk. That's what makes it the cream of something. Maybe I'll just add the rest of that cream that I have actually. I think that's what I'll do since I already have it. One more thing used up. And then I'm going to add the chicken to it as well. This is not the most appetizing looking chicken. I have no idea where it came from really, but it was in my freezer, so I'm going to try and get it gone. It's been in there way too long, and if I put it in the sauce, then no one will know that it doesn't look too bad, but it just looks mushed. Okay, there we go. There's our sauce for Hawaiian haystacks. And this should probably last us, if not 2 meals, it should probably last us 1, and then at least a meal for my for Karsten to go to work with one day. But all you do for Hawaiian haystacks after this is you pour this over rice, and you put cheese, olives. You can put little those little, what are those called? The little, like, they're not croutons, but they're like little crunchy noodle things. And pineapples, mandarin oranges, did I already say olives? Some green onions. Basically anything you could put on top of this and it will be delicious. So that's what we're gonna do. We have to wait till this cools so that we can put it in a container of some sort. Okay, even after those meals, I still have about 1.5 pounds, well, maybe 1 pound of chicken left. So I decided I'm going to make I want all of this gone. I want it to be gone. I want it to be usable. I want it to have a purpose. So I am going to make some pasta. And it's called chicken parmesan casserole. I don't know, what was it called? Chicken parmesan and pasta casserole. I did not want to make another creamy something because we don't need that many creamy things in our life. They are delicious, but we need variation. So I'm going to make this casserole, which is just going to be basically pasta, sauce, chicken, and I have those mozzarella balls that I need to get rid of, so I'm going to put those in there throughout, which will probably, actually I'm going to save some for some pizza because I think that will be really good. But I'm going to use most of them up in these casseroles. I think I'm going to make 2 of them because there's enough chicken, and if I'm making 1, I might as well make 2. Okay, this water is ready. Okay, and it's gonna do for 9 minutes. Okay, that pasta is already done cooking. I'm going to put, it's going to make 2, I'm like 90% sure. Oh my heavens, that was hard. I'm gonna put some sauce down on the bottom just so that it doesn't stick too bad. So I'm going to add the pasta. I'm just gonna eyeball half. I'm gonna break up these mozzarella balls and put them throughout. If you are a Bible reader, I feel like the widow that Elijah goes to and asks for her last bread, not bread, but like flour. I can't remember what it was. Her last food, basically. It was either she feed Elijah or she feed her family, feed herself and her son, and she chose to feed Elijah, and then he said basically, because you chose to feed me, you'll never want for food again, basically. There would always be enough for her, and that is how I am feeling with these meals that I make. Like, I got out all that meat that I thought I would use up so quickly, and it has made more than enough for our family, and it just keeps giving and giving and giving. And I still have that pot roast mixture that I need to make up, but I can't do it right now because I need to pay attention to Navy. And I still have those beef chunks that I need to do something with. And I just feel like this food that I have just keeps giving and giving and giving when I'm putting my effort into making good meals for my family, then just seems to all work out somehow. So not that you really care about that necessarily, but that's how I've been feeling. It's like the meat is never going away. There seems to always be enough for more. I was gonna put this all in a bowl and mix it together, but I'm just gonna put it in here. And the recipe says to put breadcrumbs on it. I'm not going to put breadcrumbs on it right now. I'll put breadcrumbs on it when I actually cook it, because I don't think those breadcrumbs would survive in the freezer. I think they would just be mush when it came to cooking it. So I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna chop these off. Today my day is cut short today because I had a Navy came home from preschool. Anyways, she needs some love and attention. So we have the creamy chicken wild rice soup. We have the sauce for the haystacks, and we have rice over there, as well as another bag of rice in the freezer that's already cooked. So that will be an easy meal or two probably. And then we also have these chicken parmesan casseroles, which will just be easy as well. I hope that you are able to put a purpose to your food that you have in your freezer. So instead of these being here, that chicken thing that I had that I just used up with these things had probably been in the freezer for a year and a half to 2 years because I didn't know exactly what it was. But I just opened it up and I figured it out, and we got at least 4 or 5 meals out of it. So keep cooking. Your family is worth it. They will be happy that they have full bellies and that you care about them and that you took the time to make it. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining me. And if you found any of these recipes helpful or gave you inspiration, then if you would please like and share and subscribe, that would be great. I hope you have a great day, friend. Bye.